Here's an example in which we restrict the domain of a function that is not one-to-one so that it becomes one-to-one, and thus we can invert it. So which restricted domain for the function f of x equals to x minus 3 squared minus 4 makes the inverse, f inverse of x, a function? So we want to test, we can test these domains to see which one of these is going to give us a one-to-one function. First of all, let's go ahead and graph the function. I can go ahead and just use y. It'll work the same. Okay, here's our function. All right. So, just so this is visual, I'm going to actually place a horizontal line on the graph. Let's see, y equals to 3. Okay, and I have an option to make this a slider if I put some parameters on here. So let's say I let it go from just a little trick. Okay. Just building me a, notice I've created a horizontal line test. Okay. Horizontal line clearly shows that this is not a one-to-one function. Okay. So let's restrict the domain. The first one, let's look at our choices. We got x is greater than 0. Okay, x is greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0. I'm going to go to the function and I'm going to type a brace. Okay, and then I'm going to type, or I can just go here on my keyboard here. Try to speed this thing up. And I'm going to type, oh, I forgot the x. Let's go back and get the x. Need my x. X is greater than 0. Okay. Look what happened to the function. Now you see that it's now the domain has been restricted. Now the function begins at x equals to 0 and goes to positive infinity. So, but it still does not pass the horizontal line test. It does at this little piece, but it doesn't here. So let's try x is, I believe one of the choices was x is greater than -1. And you see that's even worse. I zoom out, I can see that it still doesn't pass. All right. All right. So let's try one of the other ones. I believe that was an x equals to 2. That's a little better. One-to-one, one-to-one, function one-to-one until we get here. So when x is greater than 2, we run into a problem. So let's move it to like when x is greater than 3. Now x is greater than 3, the entire graph is one-to-one. So x is greater than 3 is the domain restriction that we'll use so that f of x is invertible and its inverse exists.